Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. Waking up with 20
Whoa,
sides,
thanks
and
for the
we
gift,
are.
man!
I think I still got the same screwed up overlay, as I'm hearing double. Thanks for the cheer. Um, we are playing this morning one of the Candlekeep Mysteries adventures. We're going to take a crack at Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. It's the second level adventure from the book. And if you're just joining us for the first time here for one of these, this is something that we've been doing with some of the Patreon folks, some of the people that support the Patreon, and giving them a chance to check out some of the new content from the fresh book here. So if you'd like to
Whoa,
get in
thanks for
a
the gift,
game like
man!
this with us, you could certainly do that by supporting the Patreon. And we can find a group for you if you do that. Otherwise, we got other opportunities to play in games with us. Right now, we do run a community campaign. If you were with us last night, you would have seen that. And the content for the community campaign, we play some of the old school original adventures reincarnated materials from Goodman Games. So we were checking out the Lost City last night, and pretty soon here we're going to be able to play Temple of Elemental Evil a little bit early. So that'll be the next new thing. So if you're stopping by and you're looking for a brand new game, you'll be able to check that out starting next month. I don't have that quite scheduled yet, but we're going to start having those pop up. We always let our people that support the Patreon get the first chance to sign up for those games, but when that is exhausted, we open it up to everybody else. So please come and join us in our Discord server. When we are looking for people, looking for folks for that game and others, we'll post them up in the Discord server. So it's a great place to just kind of come hang out, talk with us in between streams, and just share the love of the game that we we all play together. So we do a lot of D&D, we do Call of Cthulhu, we do some Dungeon Crawl classics, all sorts of things. So if there's something that you're looking for, I'm sure you'll find a like-minded soul there in the Discord. So picking up here this morning with this adventure, we've been kind of going off the conceit, at least in the we started off our first one with the kind of the conceit of coming to Candlekeep, and so we've got four characters that will be traveling to the monastery, the great library of Candlekeep, and I'm sure that they have very interesting books that they will be donating to the monks there and placing in the hands of the avowed. But I think even before we do any kind of like setup to that, maybe it would be kind of nice to have our characters introduce themselves. So the four of you have been traveling together. Maybe you found each other at Baldur's Gate and have been traveling kind of the past few days together. And so let's just get a sense of you all. If you want to give us your character name, class, race, and maybe tell us a little bit about what knowledge you're seeking at Candlekeep. What is bringing you here? And we will start. I think we'll start here along the bottom with Hector.
Hello, I'm Casey. I'm playing Hector. He is a tiefling wild magic sorcerer. And the knowledge that I am seeking is Hector is trying to make better. And part of that is reparations. So he's actually here to deposit knowledge to make up for some of his piratical past. And then look for the next opportunity to improve. So he's trying to make good on a bad life. So where do you find all the cool rumors and knowledge? Why, Candlekeep.
Very cool. Next up, we have. I can only imagine what the accent is going to be, but Irma.
Irma Gorsh. Yeah, I'm Irma Gorsh. I'm Robin, and I'm playing a half orc. She's a knowledge cleric, and she knows the truth about everything that happens in the world. So she's coming. She's a bit of a maybe conspiracy theorist in many ways, a bit of a gossip. So maybe she'll give Hector, some information, the real scoop of what's going on.
it would be appreciated. I need that sort of insight.
Awesome. Next up, we've got Brewstus.
That's right, I'm Brewster Grolt. I'm a dwarven wizard. I'm wearing my yellow flowery robe, and I've got scale mail over top of it to protect me. And I'm carrying my warhammer and my spell book, and I'm here seeking knowledge of better alloys. I'm convinced that steel is not the pinnacle of alloys. And I've tried many things that have not worked.
I'm just curious what.
You'll have to read the book.
I've got some burns in places.
And last on our list here is Violetta.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Paul, and I am playing Violetta Isolde Glissandra. She is a kobold noble. Finds herself to be an artificer, but she doesn't know why. Goodness gracious, it was a surprise to everyone, including herself, and everyone around her said, "You've got to get away from here." So she's not trusted by her own people, and now she is hoping to find some knowledge because she is disproportionately gifted as in the intelligence area for a kobold, and finds herself well-spoken and curious about many things. And so she has come to Candlekeep hoping to learn a little bit more. And so due to sunlight sensitivity, she wears a broad-brimmed giant Kentucky Derby hat, and also wears a sundress. So that's Violetta. She is short for a kobold as well. So she's only 1.5 feet tall.
All right. And did you tell us what info you were looking for?
Yes, I'm hoping to understand a little bit more of artificy because I am a carver. I had taken it up as my sisters took up embroidery and I took up whittling, and I found that things that I whittled were imbued with magical properties, and I don't know why. I'm learning that something gets infused in them as I whittle, and
Awesome.
beginning to harness arcane energies.
And so those are the 4 characters that we have strolling up here to the gates of Candlekeep. You all have traveled for the past few days here together, and you've now arrived at Candlekeep. You can your senses are taking in the salty air off the sea. It's sort of a cloudy, overcast day as you're traveling up the Way of the Lion, up to the great gated doors ahead of you, which are emblazoned with the sigil of Candlekeep. As you approach the gates, they open, and you can see that 5 avowed, the monks that are the caretakers of the great library, step out. They are all dressed in sort of purple fineries and vestments, and they seem to step forward in a very kind of formulaic fashion in sort of a V line, with one of them taking the lead to step out to greet you. The person that is in the lead is a tall, sort of lanky-looking human, very emotionless, and he doesn't say a word as he approaches you there. And he's just sort of like, his head kind of jerks very like suddenly, as he's just kind of like, it looks like scanning each of you, maybe trying to read your expression and understand your intent as you come forward. Next to him is a dragonborn who is holding an open book in his arms and a quill in hand. And at the end of the V is just a halfling in sort of ill-fitting robes who's just holding an ink pot, seemingly to be an assistant for the next person in line there. The human male, who hasn't said anything for He hasn't greeted you at all. Just sort of raises his hand and says, "Hello, I am the Gate Warden. Welcome to Candlekeep. I presume that you understand our protocols here, and you have brought forth a donation for the Great Library. Please step forward and present your offerings."
Right. Well, I'll go first then, shall I? And Brewster will pull a large leather-bound book out of their bag and walk up toward this person and hand it over. It has dwarven runes down the side. And say, "This is 297 impractical and imperfect alloy and alchemical solutions discovered by Clan Muldoon."
Whoa. Well, it certainly carries its weight in knowledge. It is very hefty.
They've been chronicled with great detail.
And where did you acquire this tome of knowledge?
I've recorded it.
This is all of your work?
No, I've simply scribed it.
Oh. Well, I am sure that this will be very very much appreciated by our expert in metal. What it would be, metallurgy? Is that how you say it?
Be sure to read the disclaimer, because none of these work.
Okay. So this is like a cautionary tale.
Not to be replicated.
Well, scribe, please make note of that. This will be useful reference material nonetheless. We accept your offering, and you may proceed through the gates.
Thank you.
Well, I'll go next. I'm really happy to be here. I'm hoping to be able to contribute some lesser known information to your library. I have a book. It's called "Do You Know What I Know?" And there are only 100 copies in existence, and this is one. And it has all the true hard facts that people are afraid to talk about the world around us and about the people around us.
Oh, well, could you give me a little bit of a preview? What is of these facts that you say
Absolutely.
are in here?
So every healing potion you drink, it has a little bit of this like global modify memory spell as part of the healing process. And so it changes the memory of every person who's ever had a healing potion to believe things that they want you to believe.
Have you ever drank a healing potion? How do you know that? No?
No, because I'm the only one that knows the truth. My memory has not been modified. If I drank it, then I wouldn't believe it anymore.
What if the truth is that some other substance that you drank caused you to believe this very thing that you are telling me now?
Well, if you read on page 545, I go into the reasons. Well, because I am the author of this book, and it's a bunch of pages that have been like written on and kind of crudely stapled together and added to, and different color inks and everything. So, and I've written it out, and I'm donating it to your library.
Well, I think we could find some use for this. We certainly don't have this particular collection of information.
No, very few people have this knowledge. This is knowledge that only the select, only the true believers will embrace.
Well, I'm a little hesitant to allow you through the gates, but you have done the bare minimum that you need to come in, so I have to grant you authority to our knowledge base here.
Oh, thank you. You won't regret this, I swear. I promise. This will be so great.
I'm regretting it already. And he waves you through, and you've been granted access.
Yar, are you wanting to go next, miss?
Well, I don't need to cut in line, but I certainly will accept that polite invitation. So Violetta pulls up her hat, and there's a small wooden pseudo dragon. That clockwork flies down, and she opens up the back and pulls a book out. This is the only known copy of this book because I commissioned it myself from a human, a hopper, who had an interest in kobolds, and he wrote about my people. And so she presents.
So I have an image here I have to pull up. So give me 1 second to pull that up for you.
Thank you.
All right, there it is.
Oh no, it didn't come up. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I love the title, Stupid Book Mock-Up.
That's what I called it, yeah.
I love it.
It's called To Kill a Pseudo Dragon, and a young hopper named Oaks wrote it for us. And it's about my people and how we sometimes do things that harm ourselves rather than help ourselves. It is a work of fiction. I hope that is acceptable, but there are many great truths in it. I hope you will enjoy it.
Oh yes. This looks like just the thing that Master Sage Darl would be very much into. We certainly don't have a copy of this.
No, that's the only one I know of. Hopper Oaks did call it timeless. I'm not certain that's true, but he also has an enormous ego. Here you go. And then I just walk up.
And yep, they will accept your donation. And with that, I think we have Hector left.
Yes. All right. Well, what I have here is a logbook from the Manticore's Tale, a fine ship out of the Salt Marsh. It did engage from time to time in less than legal acquisitions. Now, this logbook, I can attest to its authenticity and to its accuracy, as I was on this ship. I was not the first mate who kept the log, but I did have occasion to peek within. On the destruction of my ship, it unfortunately suffered some damage, and as he hands it over, it's scorched on the outside and still heavy and waterlogged, but it looks to have been made of parchment, so it should survive, though the ink is going to be a little bit touchy. I am hoping that you should have folks here who can recover such valuable information, as it does include the resting locations of several treasures that were acquired during our voyages. I hope this may make some recompense for those who are seeking such things as were taken.
This is it is always a shame to see a book treated in this way, but the knowledge inside seems sound, and certainly other explorers, I'm sure, will come seeking the knowledge inside, and we can do some restoration to fix this up. This is a great donation. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Now, is this your first time, everyone here? First time in Candlekeep?
That's right.
We'd sailed by a few times, but the walls seemed a little bit much for us.
Yes,
I don't even know where I am right now.
Oh.
I mean, I know I'm in Candlekeep, but I have no idea where in the world that is, sweetie.
Oh, well, so for some of us, there is nothing outside these walls. Everything that you would want to know and learn is right here. So, but there are a few ground rules that we must go over before you enter inside. No one is allowed into the Great Library. Anyone that is not avowed. If you are seeking knowledge, you could certainly post up in the halls, the towers of Pedagogy, and check out a study room, and there will be a runner that will be assigned to you to pluck out any reference materials that you may want to peruse. Should you wish, you could certainly go and spend some time in the hearth, and we will send somebody your way to come and collect you when we have space available. There is no fighting. There is to be no violence while you are within these halls. This is a library after all, so please try to keep it down. There is no stealing. Any of the materials that you review and look over while you are here are not to leave the library. It's very important. There would be no copying no unsanctioned replications of any of the books that you check out and take a look at. And there will be no damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying any of the works. Are we clear on these points?
Absolutely.
Aye.
Well, welcome to Candlekeep. And with that, unless I don't know if I heard maybe the formation of a question.
No, I was going to just say, I just would like to get out of the sun, please, if we could. I'm getting a case of the vapors.
Absolutely. So they wave you through the gate here, and you find yourself in this open courtyard. To the right, to the north there, the pillars of pedagogy are the study, or where the study rooms are that were referenced by the gate warden. And that is where people, generally seekers of knowledge, will go there to check out a room and do their research for extended amounts of time. To the south, you can see a number of buildings, including the House of the Binder, where probably that book that Hector was had brought in, they might deposit it there to get a cleanup and fix it up a bit. There is the Hearth, which is sort of the tavern here, kind of a popular spot for seekers of knowledge to congregate and talk in between study sessions and researching. Next to that, the House of Rest is the inn. For those that need to spend more than a day in Candlekeep, you can book a room there for as long as you would like. Next to that, the Granary, the Temple of Agma, and there is a smithy and stables. You have been sort of directed by the gate warden that you've all come seeking various pieces of information and knowledge that is interesting to your character. And he had indicated that they would send somebody your way to meet with you at the Hearth when space is available at the Pillars of Pedagogy.
I see there's a bathhouse. I might need to head there first. A bit of a steam up.
I mean, that does seem very important, but I'm a little curious about this healing potion thing. I was administered several pieces of medicine while aboard ships. I am under the impression they may have been rot gut, as they did make me dizzy and the pain went away, but the wounds never closed. But is there any way to tell if I've been affected by such things?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe the good news is if you weren't really healed, maybe they weren't real healing potions with the, the global modified memory insertion into it. I'll just have to, as we talk and determine things, like if your memory has been changed, it's really hard to know. But I'll pay attention, and if I hear any of those indicators, I will totally inform you that you have the markings of someone who's been modified.
Okay. Well, that's very reassuring. Personally, well, I guess I should likely have a bath. But I was interested more in the self-help section. You know, how to be a better tiefling and such. But no, fair. I suppose it's only tiefling problem to be a better tiefling.
Are you addressing that to me? I don't really know much about being a tiefling.
It's more of a. I've been told to attempt to communicate my feelings a little bit more, not to hold it all in. To share with others rather than take indiscriminately.
And who told you that? Who are the people that are telling you that?
Well, some time ago, I was washed ashore, and I came upon a. Well, he said he was a cleric of Lathander, but now I'm coming to question whether that might be true or not. And he said,
"Can you picture his face? Is his face in your memory?"
His face is in my memory.
The eye color, you can picture the eye color?
I don't know.
Oh no, that's not a good sign.
I remember glowing eyes.
Oh no, that really isn't a good sign.
I thought that was common for Lethanderites, but perhaps not.
I mean, go on. And he told
Well,
you to express your feelings?
He told me to share more than take, and set myself on the right path there. And that's why I came here to make amends. Now, the only thing I had left to me was the logbook to which I clung. Surprisingly buoyant logbooks kept me afloat for many days. It's a shame about the. So yes, there I was floating in the ocean on my log. And when I came to ground with my drift log, was given the inspiration to bring it here to Candlekeep. And on the way, I did meet you all. Though, on the note of sharing their little dragon woman, have you considered the benefits of a patch? It allows one eye to stay ready for the dark and one for the bright. It's rather beneficial.
I will make a note of that. Thank you, good sir. And start speaking.
Hats are fantastic, but the patch just can't be beat.
It's so big, it's like an umbrella over her.
And he's got a decent sized hat on himself, and it's all toggled up because he's got to put the bottom part on and then toggle it to the top because of the horns. But that is a fair, impressive hat you have there.
So
I fashioned it myself.
I heard some interest in going to the bathhouse, so I imagine maybe this conversation kind of happening as you're walking over in that direction.
Yes.
I'm fascinated by the concept of a bath. I would like to know more about that.
So it is a fairly quaint stone building that you are approaching, and as you enter inside, you can instantly kind of feel temperature changes. It is a much warmer and humid kind of air. As you pass through the opening doorway, there is just a bucket kind of propped up, hanging off a large nail in the wall. And taking a peek inside, you can see that there's some amount of kind of random coinage, mostly silver pieces and copper and such, that it seems like it's sort of a kind of on the honor system, like make a donation to kind of help maintain the space. But then inside you can see that there's a number of stone doors that seem to branch off into various kind of private chambers. And there are people, there's maybe a handful of people that you see kind of mulling about with like towels and such, going in and out of some of these rooms. As somebody kind of opens one of them up, you get a glimpse of one of the inner chambers that just has built into the stonework of the floor a pool of warm water.
On walking through the door, Hector obviously makes that like bumpkin mistake. He's like, a bucket on a wall's barely a bathhouse. Talk about dressing it up. Oh. And he sort of just slinks away a little bit like, oh, that's what a bathhouse is. Not a bucket on a wall.
I think Irma would just let you awkwardly walk away because she doesn't really have the social graces to try to rescue you there. So,
nope.
Sorry.
Well, I'll freshen up, I'm sure.
He heads to one of the enclosures and takes off his hat and such.
I'm going to wait for you guys right here because I don't want to wash away any of my natural immunities because, that's what they want. They want you to go in there and then everything gets washed away and then you're more vulnerable to all the things that are out there. So dirt is more of a friend to me than water. I'm just going to stay right here.
So you're kind of posting up just in like the entranceway, kind of waiting for everyone else?
I'll stand by the bucket.
Violetta kind of comes up to your knee and just taps you on the knee and goes, "Bless your heart, dear," and then just walks in.
So Violetta's gonna take a dip as well.
Well, she's gonna do like a scale scrape.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
So, Hector, Brewster, and Violetta, you're all after several days of being on the road. This is heaven being in here, enjoying the comforts of this kind of spa day that you are treating yourselves to. Irma, while you're at the front door here, give me a perception check.
Okay. Let me.
So while you're there, keeping a keen eye on any suspicious activity that might be happening. You know, bathhouses sometimes there's meetups and things. There's shady information being passed in these places, but your attention is actually drawn outside rather than in here. As you see out the window, you're catching a glance at some kind of activity happening over near the hearth. You notice that it seems like the patrons of the tavern. There's a fair number of them that are leaving the tavern and kind of gathering as a crowd sort of outside looking towards it.
Oh no, that doesn't look good. I wonder what's going on over there. Hey guys, there's something going on out in the courtyard.
Candlekeep.
Something happening. What was that?
I'm sure it'll keep.
It'll keep.
Violetta's
Ow!
probably already done and will run out.
I want to go check it out.
I'm only 1.5 feet tall. It doesn't take long to get clean.
Do you want me to carry you? We can go really fast.
No, dear. That won't be necessary. I move quite quickly on my own.
I just don't want to step on you. You know, sometimes you're just like right there, and I'm afraid I'm going to crush you.
This is so undignified, but very well.
All right. You know, it's very bumpy and probably very smelly because she's not a very clean person. So
I would like you to reconsider some of your preconceived notions about hygiene, my dear. But I will go with you, obviously, because now I'm riding on top of you.
come on, Hector, come on, let's go.
So Hector will come out after a few moments. He's got breeches on, and no shirt, and so on. And you can see that basically from the red at the top middle of his head, straight down his back is just like red fur to the floof on his tail. It does take me a bit of time to dry off, so I'll just be, and he's sort of like, you know, got the rope tied around his waist to keep his breeches up. Sure. What are we after?
There's something going on out there. We need to be the first ones to hear about it and know, because then we'll know the truth before they can change our thoughts.
Oh, isn't Candlekeep a place where there's always something going on, though?
But don't you want to be the first to know?
Sure.
That doesn't sound very enthusiastic there, Hector.
Well, it's just that, share more of myself, I suppose. And then he just kind of like doesn't seem entirely comfortable showing everyone his red skunk streak. So then he kind of comes out.
All right. I hear Hector, Irma, and Violetta are thinking about heading out. Brewster, are you?
Well, I'm just finishing up. I've got to comb out my beard and put the ribbons in and do up my makeup.
Those twists aren't natural.
All right. So I think it sounds like you're maybe kind of hanging back, but taking your time. Your intention is to go along with
I'm
the crew
going
eventually.
as fast as I can.
Gotcha. All right. Hector, Irma, and Violetta, you pour out of the bathhouse and make your way over to kind of the crowd. And there's just sort of a tenor of like kind of worry and concern and fear sort of amongst it's probably just like a half dozen or so people. Maybe a crowd isn't exactly the right word. You also notice as you approach this sort of small, of the taverns that you've probably been in, this would be, it looks to be maybe amongst the smallest that you've ever been at. But up on the roof, you can see there's a tiefling that has like a toolbox and a number of shingles. It looks like they're doing like some roofing here. But they're kind of standing and they're kind of looking down, more with a maybe perplexed look on their face, not clear on what's going on.
Well, as soon as we get over there, Irma's gonna go up to like one of the 6 people and just be like, "What's going on? What's happening? What's everybody looking at?"
And you grab one of the people to kind of get some insight on what's going on, and
Guess we're not the first.
the young man that you were talking to, human male, he just points at the tavern. He says, "Something attacked little one. He was reading a book.
Oh.
He was reading a book, and all of a sudden I don't know. I can't really explain what it is that I saw."
Is he still inside?
Yes. And then you see he calls like someone fetch the sages. Somebody needs to do something. And there's one of the patrons goes running off towards the emerald door that would lead to the great library.
I will send Lockheed, my homunculus, the pseudo dragon, out to see if he can peek in a window.
So yeah, look, and yeah, it's your familiar, right? So you can choose to see through its eyes.
I don't know if it works that way. It's my homunculus. Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll, perhaps give me a warning. I can't see through its eyes, though. No, I don't have familiar spell.
However, so this is what your homunculus sees as it looks through the window. Maybe it has a way of like transmitting that message back to you. But
I have the message spell, but
yeah, perfect. That would work.
Okay.
So it looks through the window and it's gazing in at a currently empty tap room. Probably a number of chairs and stools that had tipped over in the uproar to run out of the tavern. But you see an ogre laying, not laying on the ground. He's probably in mid struggle here, but looks like taking cover, maybe behind like a table, and has kind of propped that up, and is seeming to be kind of evading this like spectral orb. Maybe spectral isn't the right word, but this orb of light that's kind of floating mid-air, maybe about 3 feet in diameter, and it's glowing, it's illuminated, but it also has like, sort of the property of like, almost looks like this viscous like gunk or ooze is kind of like sort of like pouring off of it, but then like kind of retracting back up into the orb. So it's not pooling beneath it or anything, but it's almost like the snotty liquid that's a kid, kind of inhales back up and comes back into the form of it.
Okay. Gross, but I get it.
Nickelodeon gack.
It's gag. Yeah. All right. So casting message to my homunculus, it gives me that message, and apparently there is a sphere with a cold. And it is terrifying and ogre. Have I captured that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can well, they say freeze a cold, burn a fever. I can offer either from a range if you think it be appropriate. I do want to make sure we save the spirits inside.
Sure.
But we're that would be breaking a rule. That one of the rules was no fighting. If you start attacking things, that's breaking one of the rules. You might get kicked out.
Oh, you see, when there's overwhelming force, it's not actually a fight; it's a murder. So as long as we all attack it at once, it'll be fine.
Norma just like pauses, and there's you can see the wheels almost turning in her head, but she's not really quite sure if she believes that yet.
One of the first things my captain taught me as we came on ship: no fighting with other ships, slaughter only.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? If we all do it, then it can't be. I don't know.
I feel like there's some moral ambiguity in there that probably needs to be parsed out a little further. In your goal to become a better tiefling, I suggest perhaps we work on that at a later date. But perhaps now we should help this ogre friend. But maybe there's a way to do that without fighting. I don't know why I turned British at the end there.
I also have the ability to put things to sleep, but that goes wrong on occasion.
Well, and I'm not sure we can make a sphere fall asleep.
Alex,
Well-
I'll make my way over whenever you think I'd be ready, but I do have to get my camera back on.
I think in the midst of this conversation about what the party is going to do, you make your way over there.
Well, if we're not to be fighting, perhaps at least we could open the door, lasso the ogre, and pull him out.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
that could work.
Let's help the ogre.
So, Alex, the tap room is that a potentially viable thing?
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man!
Kind of like get the door open, get the ogre a rope, say hang on to this, and then all run and yoink him out?
Possibly. Although... Yeah, I mean, you could. It's not as if he's not, like, capable of running out the door himself. It's not like he's stuck or trapped. It seems like he's trying to stay away from this thing that's actively, like, attacking him, but...
but if we all...
if you want to lasso him and pull him out, I suppose you could do that.
Well, if we all get a running start, and then the rope goes taut, he'll move with much greater acceleration than if he had tried to run himself. It's all about pulleys and things.
So you get together a rope and you knot a lasso-like loop on the end. Throw open the door, and why don't you give me let's say and it sounds like you get some assistance from the others to pull. Give me a strength athletics check at advantage.
Ooh.
And thanks, Corey, for the cheer. And it looks like you guys have some re-rolls coming in here.
Coming in at a 19.
All right. Let me just pull this in here. All right, so with a 19, you throw open the bar door, and difficulty in getting it over. You don't really even have to lasso him because you can call out to him, right? So he kind of grabs hold of the rope, and you all with concerted effort pull and yank him, and he kind of flops on his belly and just slides right out the door, out into the... And the crowd is applauding and clapping. And it would seem you got him out of the pinch, and he stands up, and he's a large form, and he does a little bow and says, well, thank you for getting me out of that pinch. I don't know what happened exactly. I was just reading my book, and suddenly I could feel the texture on the binding sort of give way, and suddenly I almost felt like both my hands were in warm oatmeal as this thing my book transformed before my very eyes and became that abomination that you saw in there.
Oatmeal's very good for the skin.
Wait.
Not this thing. I could feel it trying to take the very life from me.
While I do appreciate all of the adulation and the storytelling, ought we maybe shut the door?
And yeah, you close the door, and it seems like you've got, it's seemingly contained. And in this time that you're kind of talking to the ogre, you see from the Emerald Door, a number of the Avowed have come over, and maybe 5 or so, being led by kind of a wizened human, probably one of the older sages that you've seen thus far. And they enter into the hearth, and with quick succession, boom, 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 couple of flashes, some spells go off, and they emerge from the hearth and declare to the crowd that the situation has been resolved.
I can see overwhelming force, and it didn't even count as fighting.
Well, I mean, it might be different rules for them because they're special. But so your name is Little One. I love it. I love it. Is that really your name?
Well, it is sort of a name I've taken on as I have come along my path of enlightenment.
Yeah. Because sometimes what seems to be one thing is actually another, right? You seem to be big, but you're Little One.
Also, it's
get it.
known as irony, but that sometimes is lost on people.
Oh, you know irony.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
That makes sense.
You know what? Bless your heart too. Where did I go with that?
I think several of Brewster's annotations were about something that was irony too.
Most of them. Aye, we did a lot of work with irony.
So is that what you were reading about? Were you reading about her irony, or what was the book about that you were reading that turned into oatmeal snot?
It was it was I was enjoying it quite a bit. It was a book. Didn't really have a name, but a formal name on the tome itself. But inside, on the first page, was a name, Mazfroth. And this author is a little disorganized, this book, but I was reading up on all sorts of things related to the weave and how it works, and there was some interesting thoughts about the spell plague in there, and it was really getting good, and that is when it came to life, and I hope they recovered the book. And he's kind of looking at the Avowed that have just come out of the tavern, and they're like shaking their head no, and he's like, oh, I really wanted to read this book.
Like unnaturally so? Like, do you have this compulsion to read the book? Did you get any snot on you?
No, I don't think so. He's like looking at his hands, and he says, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. And the Avowed that had just the older gentleman comes over, and he says, sorry, little one, it would appear that the book that you were reading was a Ging Watsum. It wasn't a true book. It was a creature, not unlike a mimic. And
tragedy. They do make good dresses, though.
Little one is just overtaken by grief that he's not going to be able to get to the end of that book, and he said, oh, there was so much good stuff. There were things about lycanthropes in there in the abyss. I wanted to read all of the essays of this author. Is there any chance of recovering it? And the Avowed says, well, it is possible. A Ging Watsum, the process to create one needs to originate with an original object. The ritual process to create one starts there and is a replica of the original object. So this book exists somewhere, but it is not here. This is the third one of these that we've had in the past week.
Same book.
And they all come from the same section.
And he says, I think they were different books, if I recall. I don't have the log with me on who may have donated them or where they came from, but this is definitely a problem. I'm seeing a trend here.
would there be a chance of an exchange of services? You see, my reading speed is a little syllabic, and I was hoping to acquire someone to go through the self-help books and find me some for tieflings. Little one, you seem to be an avid reader. Perhaps you could do some searching on that for me, and I could look into this gingham thing for you.
That is a blessed offer that you make for me. I would happily do that and more for you if you were able to find me this book.
Well, I need some help.
Well, then it's not really self-help, is it?
More of a group therapy, perhaps.
But, maybe by helping others, he will also help himself. It could work.
Well, I declare that I'm also interested in the contents of this book and would be interested in getting the plateau notes, if you will, on what they are from the ogre. I'm sorry, little one. Your name is so ironic, it slips my mind. And so I would be also interested in helping out in this endeavor.
I have a great interest in transforming one item into another. So I'll help you.
If we find this original book, if we find that one, will these Gingwatsums continue to emerge? Or like by finding the original, do you think we could like stop the oatmeal snot orbs from coming back?
The older wizard, the avowed, he kind of raises an eyebrow as you say this, and he says, I hadn't quite thought that far ahead, but if this is the third one that has come through, we need to put an end to this. We're tired of, not only are we losing out on books, but people are getting hurt in the process, and we don't want Candlekeep to be developing a reputation as being unsafe, and have people think that they come here to read a children's book with their kids, and all of a sudden, wham! You got a Gingwatsum in your face. You don't want that. So we would like to maybe commission you, if you're interested in this task for finding the book for little one here. If you could find out where these things are coming from and put an end to it, we would be able to compensate you for your time.
Not opposed to just compensation.
That sounds reasonable.
Why?
So how did you stop it? So like if we find and encounter another one, A, are we allowed to fight back? And B, what should we do to stop it so it doesn't, like kill us or hurt us or?
Well, absolutely defend yourself from these things. There's no harm that you can do to, as I say, the original object that they are formed from. No harm would come to that. These things, they best advice I can give you is keep your distance. They feed on life force. They feed on energy, and so normally they will stay dormant for a time until they're at their limit and they need to feed.
A question. Would there be a way to test a per wanted, perhaps, thing, Gingwatsum, if you thought a book was a Gingwatsum, and you didn't want to throw the book into a fire, what would be a way to say, is this a Gingwatsum?
Oh, that's smart. That's really, really smart.
Because my first instinct, to be honest, was to just burn the whole library down and start over. But I understand that may not be the best thing in my new life.
Oh, heavens.
But how would one go about, like, can I stab it?
You could certainly give that a try, although when it is in its book form, it won't look, it probably won't trigger any reaction on its part.
Well, I've got an idea. You see, I can conjure an exact replica of any item I've seen if it's an object. And if I try to conjure a replica of something that's not an object, I don't think it'll work.
Of course. So
that is clever.
you'll be checking if it's a duplicate by duplicating it.
Right.
And if you can't duplicate it, then we throw it in fire.
Then it's
or
not an
acid,
object, it's a creature.
Oh.
That's
Does
crazy
salt work?
enough to
Is it
just
like a
not work.
slug? Will it dissolve with salt?
I'm sorry, dissolve with salt?
Yeah, like a slug, if you put salt on it, you know that, right?
We hadn't thought to try that. You give it a go. I don't know what results you might deliver on that. But
I'll stock up on some salt.
I would say if salt is a way to make a shape change or revert to its true form, that would work. But if you have other means of doing so, that could work as well. Anything that you might use on a polymorphed creature or other shape changer like a doppelganger or something like that would be able to revert it and deliver it unto its true form.
Violetta's going to do some magical tinkering, and she has a Jacob's ladder type thing that keeps unfolding until it's sort of a little desk. And then she has bits of yarn and paper on it, and she's creating a conspiracy theory board. And so then there's salt on book ? And then so everybody's
you might
ideas.
need to watch this.
I'm
taking notes.
I'm brainstorming, and it's a brainstorming board, but it's all of our ideas, and I'm going to fold it back up. All right, I have our notes. I just wanted to create a conspiracy theory board. So, and
You're really good at that. You're really, really good at that. I really like the different colors and how they connect. And yeah.
Yes, it's something that helps me keep. It's my idea board, but I thought perhaps it would help us keep our ideas organized. So we have the idea that Brewster said, and then we also have your idea about the salt, and then I've wandered into Mrs. Doubtfire somehow.
Hello, dear.
Hello. We'll pour salt on the book. Oh, I can't do that either. But anyway, then I'll just fold it back up.
And
put it in
remember
my satchel.
Hector's too. If all else fails, we just burn everything.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Fire is definitely always an option.
I'm glad you feel that way.
The avowed guy is just like, I'm just walking away from this.
Wait. Oh, just one more. These books. When we're all bringing the books in, the little fellow with the pot of ink behind him is writing down where they're all coming from. This one's got. I'm straying again. Everybody's straying.
Yeah.
This one's got a bit of an odd name. Where did that one come from? Who brought that one in?
He says, go ahead and you could check with the gate warden. They keep that logbook of the things that come through here. And all of these books, the Gingwatsum's animated in like the past week or so. The other two. So he says you might be able to check to see if they know which of those books it. Well, he would know. He would know because he was sort of investigating this, and he tells you that the other two books that came through. Where did I put that? The Dark Hunger and sorry, I guess it was just one other book. The Dark Hunger was the other one.
Oi. So about the weave and the Dark Hunger.
Well, it sounded like the one little one was reading had a bunch of essays in it about like spell plague and a lot of different things. The weave and like lycanthropes and what else? The abyss, right? You said there were a lot of different things.
Do we know what the Dark Hunger is about? specifically?
The avowed tells you, if I remember correctly, I believe the note that was placed in the logbook was something about an entity named Hadar.
Well, that is a great way to kill things in an inverted ziggurat.
It is.
Okay. Do we believe that Hadar might be related in any way to this misfortunate bibliographic tragedy that has occurred?
We can't rule that out, although the process of creating a Ging Watsum isn't solely associated with this Hadar, and admittedly, I am not an expert in this field on Hadar, but suppose
If
we can't
only-
rule it out.
If only we had some sort of depository of knowledge that we could research in. Ah, well, off to the gate warden.
And just like, okay, so that Mazfroth, was it Mazfroth?
Yeah, that was the.
He doesn't
author.
have like a hierarchy of needs or anything like that, right? It's a different guy.
That was
All
towards
right,
the end of
anyway,
the book. He had
Mazfroth.
messed up that.
That's awesome.
So is that a name that you've heard before? Do we know who that is? Did he bring the book, or did he just write the book, or is he somebody I should know?
The avowed says it certainly isn't a scholar that I am aware of. It isn't a household name, and from what little one here is probably the best at telling us what was contained within that tome. But it would seem it was sort of a random assortment of thoughts and essays that kind of strung together in no organized fashion. We get a lot of these types of books here. You understand?
That makes sense. She's thinking kind of her own tome that she donated, so not saying much.
Well, to the gate warden then.
So you make your way to the gate warden, and Kaylin is able to absolutely kind of pull the book out and give you some idea of who donated the particular books, these two books, and comes across the name Yalirian High Scroll, and he says, "Oh, looks like this scholar came from Waterdeep, and they donated the very tome that you were talking about, this Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. I don't have I don't have an entry here suggesting that he has left yet, so he must still be here at the keep. The other individual looks like is named Valor. Tiefling, looks like comes from quite a distance from Cormyr. Also hasn't left the keep yet.
He doesn't happen to do shingle work, does he? I mean, not to be racist, because I know there's a tiefling right here, but I saw another tiefling before too, and they were looking down on the group.
And Kaylin, you referenced the person that's doing the roof work there, and from the gate kind of looks over in that direction and says, Yeah, that's her.
Oh, that's troubling.
She was right there, and she was on the roof, shingling.
It looks like she donated a book called The Dark Hunger.
Oh. Well, that is also ironic. It's not really though. It's
I was going
ironic.
to say I didn't think it was.
It's ironic in the way that the great bard Alanis Morissette might have used it.
Like unfortunate,
Yeah.
but not ironic.
No.
Yeah, like rain on your wedding day or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man who waits his whole life to cast the fly spell and then dies the next day. But it's not really the same there either. It's
It's
just
a bummer, but it's really not ironic at all.
yeah.
Well, I think it's still suspicious that she was right there when it all went down. I
Oh,
think she needs to be
suspicious,
questioned.
aye. Not ironic, though.
No.
Did I say ironic? I mean,
No, no,
No.
that was me.
Oh, okay. I was getting confused. I thought maybe someone had changed my memory and I misremembered something there, but
No,
good,
it's just
good.
that the name came up and then, as it was more of a coincidence than anything else, I think, but not really a coincidence because we're actively seeking this out. I've lost my accent completely at this point.
You'll pick it up later.
I'm sure it's over by the hearth. Maybe if we go back to the tavern, you can find.
Oh, there it is. I just have dropped it here on the ground. All right, now go back. Anyway, I suppose that I could ask Lucky to look up all around the rooftops and see if there's anything to be seen. But is that what we're doing? We're looking for the
I think
stairs.
we need to talk to her and find out. Go ahead, Hector.
That seems a bit indirect. Perhaps we just go, ahoy, Valor! And he just yells up to try and get her attention.
Wait, but then I'm ready to run after her and grab her if she runs away.
There are walls all around us.
I still don't want her to hide.
It's not a big place.
So, Hector, did you yell out from
yeah,
the gate?
as he does, he's just like, ahoy, Valor!
So she's kind of across the stretch, right? But you do see she hears that and is kind of doing peering over, scrutinizing, squinting, trying to see who the heck's calling my name.
And at this point, he's just jumping up and down, waving his arms, doing the come on down here, and he's practiced these sorts of moves. So whatever the appropriate get your butt down over this way kind of gesture is for nautical folks in storms.
And she just she's trying to maybe taking a moment to take you in, do I know this person? And at some point she's just shrugs
he's a half naked individual wearing breeches with a bright red streak going down his back to a big floof tail. So you could just be anybody in a crowd, really.
Yep. So she does not come down. She kind of gives you one of these and continues doing her work on the roof.
Wood, that was rude.
Do you want me to go get her for you?
Hey, it was not uncalled for, though.
Well,
it was being friendly.
It was actually literally called for. I called for her, and she responded with that. So, was that ironic?
I think that was just rude. I think that.
No, but saying it was called for would be using the words for other than their literal intent.
Oh.
Yes.
So saying it was called for or uncalled for was ironic,
Gotcha.
since I did call for.
Yeah, maybe we need to get a dictionary and actually find the what is the definition of irony, and then then we'll know for sure. But that can be after we figure out.
Again,
a second quest.
If only there was some depository of knowledge about that we could do this sort of research in.
I know. I'm sure we'll find that at some point in the future. I want to go over there and tell her to come down. I'm going to drag her off that roof if she doesn't come down.
That's a long fall.
Well, then she should come down. She should listen to you.
Or we could go up. I mean, I'm sure if she's up there, there's likely a ladder or a stairwell or ropes or...
Well, you're always so practical. I'm
Right.
really, really glad I'm traveling with you.
Well, head that way.
Practical.
So Irma is leading the group here back to the hearth. It sounds like you're all following. And Hector, you're maybe looking out for a ladder or something. And yeah, sure enough, on the side of the building, there's a ladder propped up there. As you make your way over, and she's hammering away. Seems aware enough of your presence as you approach that she says, "Why the hell are you calling my name?"
To get your attention.
Well, you got it. I'm working. What do you need? Unless you're gonna grab a hammer and come up here and help me out, I don't know if I got time for you.
Huh. He just sort of shrugs, grabs a hammer.
And you climb up there, and you surprised her. She's just like, oh. Her mood changes a little bit.
It's best to be drying in the sun anyway in this frigid, hot weather. What season is it?
It's like springtime.
Nice.
You know, it's a little cool here, being right near the sea, but
Fine day to be out
working
shirtless.
up a sweat here pretty soon. Yeah.
I'm going to call them friends for lack of a better word. But my friends were a bit concerned as to the appearance of some sort of gingham dress, and therefore wish to talk to you.
Well, you're helping me out here to make amends with the avowed. So, sure, we could talk while we're doing this.
Did you bring a book called The
Oh
Dark
my God!
Hunger?
With the book thing again. Yes, I did it. I brought it in, and
Okay.
it won't let me forget it. That's why I'm hammering the shingles to this roof. I'm trying to make amends for that. I guess one of the avowed got a hold of it, and I think he lost his homunculus. It was a whole thing.
This is tragic that you would be shingled out so. But just the book, and it seems likely you've discussed this before. Where did it come from?
I picked it up on my way through Baldur's Gate. You know, I knew I was making the trek out this way, so I stopped by the Wide and was trying to look for a book. Found a little shop. Yeah, they'd asked me. I told them everything I know. I don't remember what it was called. It was something Dune books. No, that's not it. I don't know. They had all sorts of interesting things there. There were books on dragons and the political structure of Waterdeep, and this one book, it really spoke to me. The Dark Hunger. You know, it had a eye-catching name. I thought this one looked unique, and the shopkeeper there was plenty friendly. Assured me that this was a one of a kind, and if I were to purchase it, it would grant me entrance to Candlekeep. And so here we are. Turns out, big ripoff, big problem. I'm on deadlines, and here I am doing a roofing project.
I pull out the idea board and start making.
You get a basic bit of yarn going to Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
Did you have a healing potion while you were there?
Oh, what she said, healing potions. What's your stance?
I carry one on me now and again. I can't remember if I had no reason to imbibe one in Baldur's Gate, but yeah, I never leave home without one. And she kind of pats, like, you could see, just like her pack, that presumably she has one in there.
They may have got to her.
It sounds that way. Check out the shingles. Make sure there's nothing weird about them. That's not very subtle, so, you know.
I don't think I have the proper medical license to diagnose a woman's shingles.
You're a strange man.
Fair. They appear to be properly reticulated. I don't know what shingles are supposed to be.
It looks like she knows what she's doing. It looks fine what she's working on.
They all look fine until you reach this little patch that I've been working on. Then they go a bit higgledy-piggledy. Was there anything else we should be talking about? He yells down.
No, I think that answers our questions for this one.
Aye. Well, thank you for your time.
I guess I'm wondering, And I'll get a little closer so I don't have to shout so much, but I'm still like down on the ground. So have you had other instances in your life where you've had these memory gaps where you can't remember names or places or
Well, have you had those things?
any other memory gaps?
Are there any times that you remember not remembering?
I'm sort of befuddled by the question. Are you accusing me of having a bad memory? It was a bookstore. I'm sorry. I don't remember, but
I don't know. I think it's really convenient that you don't remember where you got the book that you needed to get into the city, the one of a kind book.
I she just looks like she's kind of like getting a little upset with she's probably been accused of a number of things in the past few days. She says, I have a sound memory. I came here at a project. I was just trying to do some research. I didn't try to hurt anybody. I've apologized. I'm apologizing now by doing this project for them.
All right.
I have just one more question, if you don't mind, Miss. The bookstore. It occurs to me that if I was going to be paying money for a book, it would be a book of a particular sort. Now, you mentioned this might be a something Dune books. Did it have sort of a desert theme and possibly be over Dune books? Because those would be the ones I'd most expect to pay money for.
Oh, but if they're overdoing, they've probably already got a copy here.
She says, "Oh, thank you for the follow, Island Funster. Huzzah!"
Huzzah!
She says, "No, nothing of that sort. They, everything about it. It was sort of on the edge of the wide as I was walking through. It was all of the books looked very unique, very striking. The salesman there, he assured me that everything was 100% original, one of a kind."
We have information that may not be entirely true. Good day to you, miss, and thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you when I return, and such things as polite people say.
Wait, you only put in 15 minutes of work here. You're leaving already?
Well, to be fair,
and then he just sort of like settles down.
The book.
Well, think of it this way. You're just going to have to redo all the work that he's doing to make it done right. So he's actually saving you some time if he leaves right now.
She says, "Yeah, you're right. That's fair." Well, goodbye. Goodbye to you.
And he just like comes down. He's actually fairly good on the ladder.
I mean, he thinks that shingles need to be reticulated. You probably don't want his help.
Well, I'm more accustomed to bending planks, which are obviously reticulated in this particular ship, like a snake.
Just keep going. I like hearing you talk.
That's why it was called the Manticore's tail, because it was a bit snake-like and pointy on bits.
With reticulated planks, yeah. I'm getting a really big picture right in my head now.
It's painting. The sails were made up like wings, and we had a bit of a lion's head on the front. And when we drew up next to a vessel which we wished to not fight with, we would simply fire a barrage of spikes at them, and then they would all be murdered, and there would be no fighting at all.
That's the difference, right? Yeah, the slaughter versus fighting. It's not fighting if it's only one direction.
Exactly.
I'm really starting to understand. Yeah.
There's a code, you see, put down by Bartles and James in the ancient days.
Well, maybe we should find this other person now. This Illyrian. Was it Illyrian High Scroll?
Yeah.
Yes.
Illyrian.
I agree.
Well,
Do you want to put a shirt on first? I mean, I really am digging that red stripe thing. I think that's really kind of cool, but you know, you seem a little uncomfortable.
He sort of reaches back and like, yeah, it's dry enough, and then he buttons it in, hats and toggles and lots.
There you go. There you go.
Well, it is what 10:20 something. We're about at the halfway mark here for our session. I wouldn't mind taking a quick, maybe 10-minute break here. Fill up some coffees and such. Thanks everyone who is hanging out there with us. We're going to take a quick break. If you're just checking in, we are playing Candlekeep Mysteries. We are doing the level 2 adventure Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions. So please hang out with us. We've got more to come, and we will be right back. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. We're just taking a short break and we're coming back to Candlekeep Mysteries. We're playing Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, a level 2 adventure from the book. So our party here, they had come to Candlekeep and very quickly got kind of wrapped up here now in this mystery of the shape-changing books. They had come upon Little One, the enlightened ogre that spends a lot of time at the hearth. One of the books that he was reading, he had transformed into one of these Ging Watsum, I guess, creature. Sort of transformed into this like weird, aberrant sphere that had started to attack him. The Avowed of Candlekeep took care of it and had expressed that this wasn't the first time that this had happened, and that there was another book that had transformed into a Ging Watsum in the past week. So, in exchange for some assistance from Little One, who maybe will help you with some of your research here in the library, he really, really, really wants a original copy of that book that the Ging Watsum had been imitating. So sort of doing a service for him in trying to find the original. Because the Avowed told you that the process of... They understand the properties of this creature and how it is created, and that it needs an original item to be able to create one. And so the book must exist. It must be out there somewhere. Just don't know where. The Avowed are also concerned that these books, they're coming from someplace, and people, this is a natural depository for them. They don't want more of these things showing up. And so it's sort of giving you a job that they will compensate you if you can find the origin and put an end to it. That would be looked on favorably by them. So you started to ask around, and you identified a couple of people that you might be able to talk to about the books. And you identified one, Valor, a tiefling, who is doing some penance doing some roofing at the hearth. They had brought in a book, and they couldn't remember the exact name of the store, but it was someplace in the Wide. The Wide is got a big flea market kind of thing over there in Baldur's Gate with various shops and things. Couldn't remember the name of the store, but told you that that's where they picked it up. The other individual that you learned of was named Yelerian High Scroll. And the logbook indicated that they had come from Waterdeep. And in the time here, since you spend some time here in the late morning kind of asking around, seeing if anybody knows of Yelerian, and you eventually pinpoint their location as being at the House of the Binder. And so as you enter into this building here, kind of on the western side of the Court of Air, you come into this building. It's kind of a big, large room, almost like walking into a big library. There are bookshelves that line the walls and are stacked with different texts and things like that. But then in the middle of the room are just like workbenches and tables, and many of them have I don't know what you would call it, but those like devices, those little like boards that you would kind of align a book to start doing the binding, some of those types of things, some sewing thread and needles, all those types of things that one would need to work on restoring books. And there is a individual there, a human male, who is looks like working at one of the stations on a text, aligning pages and such with one of those devices.
Hello.
And as you let out a greeting, the individual kind of raises their head and looks over in your direction and says, "Well, hello."
We're looking for a Yelerian.
Oh, you got him. That's me.
Well, We're looking into some certain books that were brought to the library that have perhaps caused a bit of trouble.
Oh, you're looking for a book, huh? What? I certainly wouldn't know anything about any trouble.
You brought a book here recently. Which one was it?
I'll consult my map. According to what we've placed here upon our storyboard, it is, and then I don't remember which one.
It was the book that...
Mazfroth Mighty
Mighty
Digressions.
Digressions.
Mazfroth Mighty Digressions. The name of the module. Okay, sweet.
On the tin.
It's right on the
That's the
tin.
one.
Ugh. Yeah.
Well, it recently turned into a monster and tried to kill an ogre.
I heard about that.
Which
I was
happened?
sort of hoping to get done with my business here and maybe get out of here before someone started pointing the finger at me, but it's true.
Well, we're not pointing fingers, we're asking questions.
I did. That was my donation. I picked up that book while I was in Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Two strings of yarn to Baldur's Gate.
And where
Where?
did you find it?
Oh, I was in the wide, and there was a stall there. That the attendant there was very helpful. I purchased actually a number of books while I was there, and now I'm sort of wondering if these others might be troublesome.
Well, do you have one of those about? We have some plans for one involving salt, slugs, and oatmeal. No?
We could test it.
Yeah.
Pickling,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think you should really, really let him try to duplicate one of your books.
One that you got from this. What was the name of that place again?
Yeah. What was the place you went to?
Nice work, Columbo.
It was called oh, what was it called?
What was it called?
Oh no. I bet he had a healing potion as well.
Oh no. Look for his healing potion holster. Is it empty?
It doesn't seem he's kind of dressed in sort of plain, simple traveling clothes. You don't see any vials or potions on him, but he says, "I don't remember the name of the store, but the name of the bloke that I talked to while I was there, his name was Avani. Avani, yeah."
Well, that's
Ivani.
more than we had before. Would you like us to test some of your books?
And he says that would be wonderful. He pulls out a text. Unlike Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, the one that he pulls out is has a really nice leather binding, and on its cover has the title "Fabled Treasures and Monsters."
Oh, that's nice. I'll take a look over it, and then after looking at it for a bit, I will use my conjuration power.
Before you begin that, perhaps we could enclose it in some sort of protective oatmeal-proof canister. Or
Well, I didn't bring my oatmeal canister.
maybe a box with a lid. I'm certain in a depository of knowledge this vast, there must be at least one crate. Or a barrel. Or perhaps a crate and barrel. I am a bit peckish.
If you call
I
out
could
to
create
the
one using my
proprietor,
conjuration power, but then when I conjure the book, it would go away.
so Hector, if you call
I
out
can
to
make
the
a box. I am a carpenter.
Perhaps among all these inventors, they could somehow align 6 planes of wood in a way to make a container.
Yeah. If there's wood around, I can do that. I have all the tools and stuff. If we need it, if you can't just find a box.
Or we could take
absolutely. If you reach out to the proprietor of the House of the Binder, they've got boxes and chests and things like that they carry materials in on, so easy enough to find that.
Or we could just tear the covers off of several of the larger tomes and create an imprison of knowledge for the smaller. No? Okay.
Right, so I'll have a good look at the book while you're building your box, and then I'll conjure a copy of it. And if it's an object, I'll make a copy, and if it's not, well, it won't work.
Absolutely, you are able to make a copy of that text using your ability.
Well, I think this one's a book.
Oh, just in case, let's just sprinkle some salt on it, okay? I mean, I brought a lot of salt, so I'll
Rub
sprinkle
some salt on it.
So you start to sprinkle some salt on the original, and for a moment you can kind of see like the top of the book kind of ripples a little bit, and the little granules of salt seem to like absorb into the book, and then it becomes solid then.
Did you see that?
Is that normal behavior for a book? I haven't actually dealt with one before.
No,
I didn't like the look of that.
I have.
I think you may have just salted some oatmeal.
Salty oatmeal.
Some people prefer it with salt.
Illyrian is wide-eyed at seeing that happen and like starts pulling out all sorts of texts. He's like, I want nothing to do with any of these.
We're going to need a bigger box.
Just light them all on fire.
That was what I suggested at the beginning of all this.
I know. I was.
But then we've got that burned oatmeal smell.
Well, let's salt them all real quick.
All right. I will sprinkle some salt on all of the books that Illyrian or whatever his name was just put out there. And I'm watching really closely to see if it absorbs the salt.
Yeah, they all do. Well, let's say not all of them, because some of them would be authentic, but at least one other in the mix does that.
Well,
so you've got at least 2 Gingwatsums here.
All right, so the ones that don't eat the salt, I can take them out, right? Well, those are knowledge to be preserved for the ages.
And the others will burn.
Did you hear that, books? We're gonna burn you.
Ed, don't offend the oatmeal.
I never thought I'd
Never
be a
argue
party
with your
to
breakfast.
book burning as a
But they're not real books.
as a celebratory
They're
sort of.
creatures. We're just killing creatures. We're not burning books.
Irma?
So no harm, no foul.
In the midst
seems
of
much
your
better than
sentence
killing
there, you
creatures.
hear a voice in your head say, "Feed me! Feed me!"
Oh no!
Okay, I've stopped listening to those voices in my head a long time ago because
It's
they're
dinner
not
time.
real.
I'm hungry.
Irma, hello, Irma. You're looking a bit
yeah.
in the middle distance there, Irma.
Yeah, well, just say for the sake of argument that somebody just thought the words feed me, I'm hungry, but it wasn't their own stomach telling them that message. What would you say to that? What do you think? Do you think
Give me a little sugar.
now it's wanting sugar. I'm pretty sure it
No.
wants sugar.
Irma, I haven't known you long, but coming from you, I don't think it's that strange.
don't
What
happen-
potions have you taken
Yeah,
recently?
Do you don't happen to have any aluminum foil? Do you, Brustus? Because
I could conjure some.
I think that would be helpful. I'm just gonna make a little hat of it, and then maybe the voices won't be able to penetrate my brain anymore, and that
will-
would work really well.
I
Oh.
will conjure an aluminum hat.
Was aluminum one of those things that foiled your alloying efforts?
Aye, it did. It's difficult to alloy anything with aluminum.
Well, I appreciate this, and maybe it'll help.
And you put your
Put
hat
that on
on.
your list. Put that on your list there, Violetta. We need to add that to the, aluminum foil with a yarn, and we all need a hat before going to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I can only conjure one at a time.
Oh no.
I already have a hat, and it works just fine from keeping me from saying batshit crazy things.
Eh,
I, uh, uh, but I appreciate your concern, dear. But I will add it to my board.
eh, the voices that you're hearing, they want food and sugar.
It might have been metaphorical sugar. It might have just been, I'm hungry, give me food.
I want
Hail to the king,
real
baby.
sugar.
No, it wants. Oh, damn! The foil's not working. I heard it again.
Err.
Is there any
Um,
chance we have sugar?
Well, there's a fine establishment just over there. I'm certain that have sugar or honey or something that I've been told many times not to ever put near the logbook, for it sticks the pages together, and then we end up going to the same place over and over every time. Dr. Doolittle's like, "We're going here to look for the push me pull you."
That-
But I don't think we should give it what it wants.
One more.
Are you talking about the erudite outfitters and clothiers?
No, I meant the Earth.
Oh, the hearth. Okay.
Where little one just had the bit of the tittle with the other oatmeal. Oh, I wonder if it was just after the sugar on the bar.
But didn't they tell us they want energy? They
Yeah.
want to suck our energy. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just
and
gonna be
Lone
very...
Ranger wanted a kiss is exactly what I was thinking.
I'm no energy. Just
Some
just
sugar
think
baby.
think apathetic thoughts and see if maybe we can discourage it.
Violetta is gonna go and procure some sugar.
Okay, and thank you for the follow, a non-lone ranger. Violetta, you go over to the hearth, and things have kind of quieted down. Business as usual has kind of picked back up. You're kind of struck as you go in there, though. It looks like a very tiny building, but as soon as you walk in, it's like expansive. It's much larger on the inside than perceptibly it is from the street, and so pretty quiet in here as you go up to the barkeep, and you're at, what were you asking for? Honey or sugar?
Yeah,
Some
except for I
sweets?
can't see over the bar, so I'm gonna have to climb up onto the stool first. And then, pardon me, but I was hoping I could procure from you a cup of sugar.
Well, absolutely, little miss. Anything else? I mean, that's sure. He kind of goes.
While you're there, do you happen to have any tea?
Tea. Yeah, we could heat up some water for you. You could steep some tea. Sure. So he goes to. There's kind of a little kitchenette area in the back where he's kind of mulling about. There's like an open window, so he can kind of continue engaging in conversation with you. But the human barkeep, is attending to that. Gets you your sugar.
I'm gonna make a
places
note
it
to
in, like,
myself
a
that I
tin
need
cup
to.
that he gives to you.
Okay, how much do I owe you for your generosity? Or is it just generosity?
Sure. Well, this one's on the house. We don't get too many requests for tea and such, but no charge.
Violetta's gonna make a note that she needs to figure out a way to instantly cool beverages on her board, and then because an iced tea would be much appreciated in this dreadful sunlight, and then takes the sugar back to the group. So I've got some sugar. Should we wish to engage in a bit of an experiment?
And Violetta, you hear a
Looks
voice
over
in your head and just says, "Experiment on me. I want that sugar."
Oh, okay. It's in my head now.
Yep.
Oh dear, I do believe I need some aluminum foil. So then Lockheed comes out and fans her. This is overwhelming. It does want the sugar. Should we give it the sugar?
Maybe ask it like why it wants the sugar, and see if it sounds trustworthy.
I do believe it can hear you.
Okay. Why do you want the sugar, and are you trustworthy?
I'm hungry. You can trust I'm hungry. Just want some food.
I don't know if I trust it. Does it?
Why
It
are
says it's
you
hungry.
Why are you a book right now?
I was told to be a book. That's all I know. I meant to be a book.
That all tracks.
This is very strange.
Who made you into a book? Who made? What? Are you a creation? Are you like a construct of a sort?
I'll say it.
I'm hungry. I want
Yeah,
to
all
eat.
of my southern turns into Foghorn Leghorn.
Say
You
it.
bother me, boy.
Are you a construct?
So, like hunting around, I'm sure somewhere in here are pliers to pull leather or tongs or something that we can get a hold of and like lower the cup of sugar in there.
All right.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna make it bigger. I think it's gonna grow bigger. You're feeding it.
It just sort of like absorbs it. You're right. Like you place like the tin cup like kind of flat on the top of the book. I don't know. It like takes in like it absorbs like the cup, and it seems like momentarily like after it has done that, you know, it just looks like a book. But after a few seconds or whatnot, you just see like the tin cup like pops out. Like it just like popped out of a toaster and ricochets off the table down onto the floor, but the sugar is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
But it's not any bigger. It's just there's still a book that just
So-
has some sugar.
Yeah. No size change.
Oh. Well, these seem to be particularly well behaved books things.
Let's give it some eggs and flour.
Oh, that sounds good. I want some eggs.
Maybe it'll make a cookie.
Well, what I was thinking was if these things can duplicate books on the quick, they might be useful to Candlekeep, so long as they don't go all oatmeal in people's faces. Ought we to speak with the gate warden and such and see if they want them to stay in Candlekeep or to go away from Candlekeep?
Well, it's worth asking now that it's in a nice box.
It's
Really
a
good idea.
fine box.
Uh-huh.
Just a moment there, fellow.
Should we seal the box?
I mean, I was assuming we were going to keep an eye on it, and only one of us was going to go fetch the high and mighty.
I can go fetch. I can go run and go fetch them. And I'll explain the whole situation about the sugar and the salt and the voices in the head.
Perhaps someone should go along with her to explain the explanation.
All right, I'll go.
Aye, that does seem like the perfect combination to me. I will. Hello, book.
I'm hungry. I want those eggs.
Yes. We're just going to go let the chicken know about your desire for eggs, and should have
chicken.
one any moment now. Would you like the box lid opened or closed? Would you like a little nap for your meal there?
I like to breathe. I want
Okay,
some
so-
fresh air.
We're going to leave just a little crack here, you know. Take a little post sugar rushed nap thing. Yeah. How's it come along with them higher ups?
So it sounds like Irma and Brewster, you're going to go fetch the gate warden, and oh boy, dog is going nuts right now. So you head over to the gate and you find Kalen, who is just like in the midst of having his lunch or whatever, and you approach and you give your account of what has happened, and he says. Well, it certainly would be interesting to, now that we've identified one of these Gingwats, it sounds like you have tamed it. sort of, and it would be very useful to study them.
We
further.
got 2.
So you got 2, and then we would be more than happy to take them off your hands and make sure to monitor them, that no harm comes to anybody while we are trying to learn more about these creatures. And so
I think that's a good idea, right? Don't you? I mean, that what better place to have, books that aren't books be studied?
I think it not being my problem is ideal.
So you escort him back to the house of the binder, and he gets a couple of the other avowed to kind of haul these crates off and take them into the great library, where some of the higher ups will inevitably start researching them and studying them and keeping an eye on them.
And we didn't even need any fire, Hector. Isn't that wonderful?
It's a good thing not to have put the fire to them. I was having a bit of a conversation while you were away, and we were thinking perhaps they could work themselves out to be self-flipping flip books. So, goals and aspirations there.
Wow.
Whole new market.
Yeah, that way you could read while cooking, because as you're cooking, the pages will just flip on their own. I mean, that's remarkable.
Oh,
You should really patent that.
I was thinking, if you flip them just a bit faster, the images look like they do the hula dancing, and you've not
Oh,
seen
but you don't
those.
want to do that. That becomes like a hypnotic pattern, and it's a way that they can put things into your mind.
Oh,
Bad.
Oh, that was I saw that one coming.
Making a note. Making a note. Great idea for an artificer
but
spell.
the books can already talk direct to our mind. So what's the
But
harm?
These you don't know aren't your own thoughts. See, there's a difference. When you know it's not your
Oh.
thought, then you're safe. But as soon as you don't know it's not your thought, then you think it is your thought, and that's how they get you.
So the books will
So
learn
they
to
getcha.
impersonate my own voice. I should come up with a more difficult accent then.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible. I really don't know if that's possible.
Well, it wanders about a bit. It's all sort of up and down the sword coast.
That's how they get you.
That is how they get you. See, you get it. You get it. You're the one that understands.
Oh, I. Mm-hmm.
Yes, one might say I'm coasting on this particular accent, but so Baldur's Gate then, and a place that's a something doing with a fellow known as Evani.
I think
Or
it'd be really
Felele-
important. Maybe
Feles.
Violetta, if you want to write down the names of every shop we find, so we don't become, susceptible to the memory blanking spells. We just have to keep written records of the stores we go into.
I will hand my board to Lockheed with instructions that Lockheed should write down every store name we drive by. Or we drive by. Now we're driving. Oh, but we walk by.
Wow, you made a really cool device here that we could go for a ride in.
Yeah. I can just hear lowrider in the back of my head.
Yeah.
No. But yeah.
All right. So it sounds like a journey to Baldur's Gate is in order. You know it to be. You just came from there, so you know it to be about a 5-day trek along the road. So there'll be some overnights and such. Anything that you want to do to prepare for that as you begin to prepare to head out into the wilderness once again?
No.
I think I should stock up on some more salt. It came in really handy, so I'm gonna stop by and get some more of that.
I haven't got
Certainly.
enough coin for a healing potion, but I'd kind of like to have one.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
That's why I'd like to have one.
All right.
Well, I was planning on giving up drinking when I came to Candlekeep to improve myself, but since I'm leaving Candlekeep, perhaps a couple of bottles just to tide me over till I do stop drinking.
Sure. You're able to flip a couple silver to the hearth, and they'd be able to pass on a few bottles of wine or mead or whatever is your fancy there.
No, fancy is the exact opposite of what we're going for. The stuff that you might use to loosen paint. That's the stuff that I'm after.
Effective.
Yes. Dwarven is another way of describing it.
You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Some like fire whiskey or something like that could be procured, and let's see, anything Violetta
like
wanted
to buy
to do.
2 water skins.
Sure.
One smaller than the other, and then I will get as cold of water as I can from the sea and put it in one, and then I will put some hot tea from the hearth in the other, and then I will put that one in the other one to have it cool down. It's not really going to work, but I don't have a good spell. So it's an experiment in seeing if I can rapidly cool tea. I think by laws of thermodynamics that will not work. But
Well, you gotta try it. You gotta try.
it. Yep.
Yeah. So,
I could start recording your failed experiments.
well, that would be a blessing. Thank you.
While all this is going on, Hector's like just sipping his fire whiskey, and occasionally it's hot, occasionally it's cold. You can see the frost forming on the outside of his little tin cup, and sometimes, you can see the little steam rising. He's like, that's a weird experiment.
Wait. Wait.
Maybe we should talk to each other a little bit more and understand what our capabilities are, because that might come in handy.
Am I to understand that you have a way of removing or adding energy in the form of heat to a substance?
Oh, no, just magic.
Fair enough. And she just holds up the the water skin. Will you make this some 20 degrees colder for me?
I'll make it colder. Prestidigitate it cold,
okay.
cold enough.
Yep,
Cold.
great.
More, okay.
I've already sugared it, so now I have sweet tea.
If you need it particularly cold, if we drop like a little fish in, I can shoot it with a ray of frost and just freeze the whole thing for you. But I need a fish.
I will have to give fish tea some more thought. I'm not certain that wouldn't completely ruin my beverage.
I agree. That sounds horrible.
We could do a worm, as popular with certain drinks. Sorry, Paul.
You could do the worm.
I will also bear that under advisement.
all right.
Violetta will be looking for gin in Baldur's Gate. Something with which to make a julep. Is that gin? I don't even know. I've never had a mint julep.
I don't know.
I am looking it up.
Yeah, Google is occurring.
A
bourbon cocktail.
Bourbon? Oh, that's better. That's much better. All right.
Oh.
Well, when we get to Baldur's Gate, I'll be looking to get a Baldur's Derby mint julep. I'm certain horse racing occurs in Baldur's Gate.
So
Outside of Baldur's Gate, no four-legged animals in the gate. You know that.
Oh, I
Come
do know
on.
that. I do know that.
So you are beginning your journey. You're getting out onto the road, and it's going to be a several-day journey. So if you have a watch order that you would like to set for your evenings, that would be in order here.
I see fine, night or day. So whichever's better for y'all.
Same.
Well, I'm not really an early morning person, so, I just don't have the energy early in the morning, so maybe it's better if I just stay up really late.
I'll take the last watch early in the morning.
So I'll take the middle watch.
I do much better in the evening hours than I do in this overbearing and dominating sunlight.
So if I parse that out correctly, I've got Irma on first watch, Violetta on second watch, Hector on third, and then Brewster on fourth.
Yep.
All right. First 2 days of journey are plenty enough uneventful. On the 3rd evening, let us just see. Brewster, so you made camp. Um, let's open it up. Let's have a little description of what is your like evening kind of routine like, and how do you set up your camp?
I find a flatter patch of ground, and I put a little bit of a mat on it, and then I lay down, and I fall asleep.
I spend a lot of time
Head.
combing out my beard, taking out the ribbons, washing off my makeup, and getting everything situated, looking over my spells, all sorts of things. A lot of very high maintenance.
That way. I'm not that way at all. So like I have a bedroll and it's just kind of rolled up kind of haphazardly, but I'll flap it out. I'll sprinkle salt all the way around it in case any of these books decide to get a little, closer. And then I'm going to just plop down there and do some reading before I fall asleep.
Violetta has a small tent because she's very small. That is yellow and pink with it's a gingham pattern and has all kinds of paracels and sunroofs and it's overly elaborate, and it has an armor class of nothing and would fall apart immediately, but it's very much a little constructy thing that she pops out and makes tea.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
So it's sort of hilly along the coastway. It's not a lot of like tree cover or anything like that. So perhaps you kind of divert off the main path a little bit, set up kind of your camp, and on the 4th watch, on Brewster's watch this 3rd evening, you see a figure approaching, kind of hunchbacked, wearing a traveler's cloak and wielding a walking stick, is sort of like walking down the way coming from Baldur's Gate, so heading south along the way, moving rather slowly.
Well, I will cast light on my warhammer and hold it out to see if I can't get a better look at who's approaching.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
All right.
So there's like a little bit of the just kind of a morning fog or a morning mist, but you clearly see this figure kind of approaching, and gets within about like 45 feet or so of your camp, and seems like he's looking off in your direction, and he gives a wave.
I'll just sort of say out loud to the group, hey, we've got a visitor. And then I'll wave back. Hello there.
Hello. You got a bit of a camp there? Do you have any food?
We may. What's your name?
Sorry. Mushika. My name is Mushika. I was just a
And
traveler from
business.
Baldur's Gate. Saw the light here. Thought maybe you
And
could
what
spare a
takes you from
moment.
Baldur's Gate?
Oh, I'm heading south to Am. Visit some friends down that way.
Well, you're welcome to the fire, but keep your hands where we can see them. You know, just precaution.
And He has sort of a smirk on his face, and as he approaches, he gets to about within 30 feet of your position. You can see following behind him are these 3 giant rats.
Oh, now that's a bit offsides.
And he drops
Hector
the
has at this
cane.
point pulled his tail over his head, trying to get back to sleep.
You see him drop the cane, and he pulls out a short sword, and it's pretty clear what's about to happen as we're going to flip over to a map here.
Well, that's
Get
rude.
situated.
Brutus, why are you so rude to the travelers? Now you're starting a fight.
And we're just going to have to... This is the only map that I could find in my fantasy grounds that is kind of camp-like.
Nice.
So we've got maybe 2 less tents there. I'm going to drop your tokens here on the
Mine
map,
is
and you can
tiny.
kind
Oh,
of
it's so
situate them.
So fortunate that last time that someone stayed here, they left their tents behind. Fortune favors the unprepared. What? The prepared don't need luck.
So we'll say, like, we could kind of ignore these other 2 tents, but maybe this one can represent yours, Violetta.
Okay.
And then if you guys want to set your tokens kind of out where maybe you'd be placed as this scene is unfolding.
It's doing the thing where it measures but doesn't move.
Oh, yeah, let me... I'm a lot quicker at knowing where that one is now. So, can you move them? They
Yep.
work? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me place some tokens out here.
Probably
The
wouldn't be
eternal
sleeping
question.
on the log, so I'll just move next to the log.
Close enough to the fire for warmth, too close I get burned. Warm, burned. Warm, burned.
That's how you got the red stripe on your back? Is that what happened there?
No, I was born that way.
Baby, I was born that way.
I suppose. There was some discrepancies in my lineage.
Happens to the best of us.
When I asked my grandmother about it many years ago, I think she was fabricating, because every time she was telling me the story, she would say flipso facto, which I found out much later on was not the proper words.
So, if you all would like, go ahead and roll an initiative.
Are we all awake, Alex, or are some of us sleeping because it was a watch, right?
I did
I'm
try
gonna-
to wake everybody.
Yeah,
Oh, you did? Okay, all right.
So if you want to like RP that you were, maybe trying to go back to sleep, I would say you're all awake and aware if you choose to be.
That's fine. I will be awake.
Probably the other thing to maybe think about, and I'm not gonna like hold you to any penalties or whatever, but are you wearing armor or not is a question always on these watches.
I think the only armored one of us is the one who's already awake.
Yeah. So that
I wear armor.
Irma might be.
I think
Yeah,
I wear armor.
I've got scale mail.
Oh, wow! Look at you. Wow, that's some form-fitting armor. I did not notice.
Well, thank you. I'm really working on my figure.
Yeah, I have scale mail.
I thought they were just scales.
It's underneath my sundress, so it's
Oh, my scale mail is over the top of my wizard robes.
You're wearing scale mail under sundress?
yes. I have to put my best look forward. There's a shift underneath that too.
Petticoats.
Yeah, huge. There might even be a hoop skirt involved. I'm not certain. I hadn't gone that far.
When they say any artist tools, they don't mean the ruffly bit. They meant like tool.
Yeah. It's a homonym. I can do both.
So I think we got everybody here on the
So,
initiative.
Alex, do you want us to? Because Violetta would not be sleeping in her armor. So, do you want me to
Right.
subtract the scale mail from the
Or
AC?
unequip it.
Yeah. Oh, I can unequip it. That's right. That's how that works.
Perfect. So you see Brewster, this human. Suddenly his arched back straightens. He pulls out the weapon, and he's first up. And he moves in closer to you and takes a couple of swings with his short sword. The first attack is going to be a miss. Takes a second swing the opposite direction. Doing an X pattern with it. And that is a 23. Dealing 8 points of damage.
Ah,
Hector, it is your turn.
Oh, you rat bastard. He'll stand up and he will cast Bonfire in the squares with Mushka and just north to cover the two there. And
All right.
make Mushka do a dex check saving throw, which I know how to do. I do this. And he succeeds, so he takes no damage. But there is fire now burning there, and if somebody walks into it, they get affected. If he ends his turns there, he gets affected again. And then I will... I'll be back here where the other unarmored folks hang about.
That's not working the way I wanted it to.
I mean, it is fire.
It's like
No,
a nice
it's-
bonfire to me.
It's not a token. It's like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Oh, there we go. Now it's moving. Okay.
Map element. Or...
Were you trying to put it like right there?
so one to the left, and then it actually stretches across 2 spots. So it gets Mushka and the one just north of him to protect Brutus from getting swarmed, hopefully.
Like right there? Is that?
Half a space to the south, but yes. Perfect.
All right. Next up is Violetta.
All right. Violetta is unarmed and in her tent, but she will pull out her light crossbow that has been infused. Back a good tea. And will shoot it at this guy, Mushika here, or Mushka, or whatever. Mauskowitz. So... Yes.
Ooh,
Nice.
critical hit.
And then damage, I just dragged that onto him.
excellent first roll of the campaign.
There we go. So that will deal 12 points of damage, and I don't have to. It doesn't matter, but I won't have to reload on my next turn. And then I will just kind of scramble in my tent, but it's very small, so there's not much more for me to do.
Awesome.
Oh wait,
Next-
nope. I want to bonus action cast. I need to know if I need to. This is a touch action. Is expeditious retreat touch?
Not sure.
Range is self. When you cast a spell, I can only cast it on myself. Thought that was something you could cast on people.
Apparently not.
Okay, never mind. I won't be doing anything. Thanks.
Well, what was your intention?
I was going to cast it on Brustus, but it's too far away. I mean,
Okay.
even if it were a touch action, I couldn't do it. So
I think
Yeah.
it is only self.
yeah, that's what it's saying.
If
pull it up.
I
Yeah.
give you the option, I often allow people to stretch sometimes the limits of a spell. If you can do a Arcana check, I would say probably you'd have to touch to be able to try to stretch that.
Right.
But if it in the future you want to attempt it, I'd say it's possible.
Okay, thanks. But I'm not leaving my tent.
Next up is one of the giant rats are up. So the one is going to scurry forward. And Hector, is it at the beginning of a turn, end of a turn?
So it only if it went into the space directly east of Brutus would be the effect.
Gotcha. Okay. So it is moving up. it's got pack tactics. Tries to take a bite. And 15.
Yep.
I'm
No,
still in.
Brewstus.
I'm still in Lost City mode where I'm attacking Dawson, and I have to have a long pause after the attack roll.
Although I could shield, I'm not gonna yet.
Okay. So that was his turn. The others are swarming in. And 5, 10, 15, 20. Moves
Oh
up.
no.
Oh, Brewstus.
What is our initiative order? Oh no.
Yeah, I can't do anything. I'm gonna be out.
And that one, 3
I'm
points
out.
of damage. You are?
I'm not out yet. No,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I thought the last one had done. I'm real close.
So the third one is going to move up to here. And does that trigger it, Hector?
If it steps forward, then it would.
Okay. I'm going to let's have the rat do a little check here to see if he's going to step forward. Yeah, he's a little hesitant when he sees the flame, but being kind of egged on by his master's kind of squeaking and making little rat noises towards him, he lunges into it to try to get at Brewstus.
All right, let's see if you burn, Brat.
He's gonna pay for it.
He fails. That makes damage happen. Damage. Rat 3. Oh,
Oh, not
Crappy rat
enough,
damage.
unfortunately.
Damage.
Leaps through the flame, burns a bit, and goes for a bite. And that is a 20.
Can't do anything about it.
So Brewstus falls. Brewstus, you're up next. If you would like to hit that death saving throw button. And we've got one success. And then it is Irma's turn.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on my friend that I just saw go down. And so I can only do it at level 1. So there you go. That's all I can do. And don't worry, it's not like a potion. I didn't modify your memory or anything.
Who are you?
And okay, that's a bonus action. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to here, and I'm gonna use the Word of Radiance cantrip on the 3 creatures within 5 feet of me.
nice.
And it's a con
Nice
saving
work.
throw. Do I hit like shift to target them, or how do
Yeah.
I
You can control click
Control
on each
click.
one.
control? Okay.
Looks pretty good. One success in there, but
All right. And then 2.
so 2 points
2
to
points of
the rat
damage.
and to Mushika.
All right.
Awesome. It looks like I put Violetta, your homunculus, in here, so I'll throw a token out there.
Because I actually wanted to use that. So this is Lockheed's turn.
Yeah, say that again. I'll type the name in here so I have it.
Lockheed, Lockheed. Kitty Pride's dragon.
I'm sorry. Lockey?
Heed, as in heed my tail. Also like the jet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
So it's Lockheed's turn.
All right. So, if I'm reading this correctly, I'm very new to Artificer. I can cast a touch spell with my homunculus, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, but now he's down. Oh, but now he's up. right?
For now,
Okay. for the new.
I'd like to remind everyone I am a wizard.
Yep.
Everyone
The-
backed off and let the wizard take
Right,
point.
the
I love
dwarf.
it.
You look so armored.
The armored dwarf, it just threw me.
I'm here for you. I got your back or your front or whatever side that needs protecting.
I can't move Lockheed, but
Oh, I
and
don't know how to unlock that exactly, but I can if you
can I
point it out.
ping? How do I
think.
ping?
Are you all able to draw on the map like this? So the way I'm doing that is I'm holding down both my mouse buttons and creating the arrow like that. I just don't know if players
Oh
can do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how to get rid of it though. How do I get rid of it? Sorry.
Right
just
click on
double-
it and choose delete.
Okay.
You can also
I'll
just hit both the buttons and it'll disappear.
Oh. Thank you.
Can I have yeah. And so he's awake now because Irma brought him back up, right? Like he's prone, but he's up, right?
Yep.
So now with Lockheed, I would like to try but that would be my turn, wouldn't it? Like Violetta's
Yeah,
turn.
I think it's your turn and it's the homunculus's reaction. I think.
All right. The homunculus then is going to sort of do the help action against Giant Rat 1. Just sort of harry it.
Sure. Given like Brutus help action on Giant Rat 1.
Correct.
Sounds good. Then we flip up to the top, and it is Mushika's turn. Mushika, his attention now is on you, Irma. Spellcaster, huh? And going to take a couple of swipes with his short sword.
I do have my shield up at least.
23.
I have a AC of 12 right now, so
Oh. Gets you for 7. Takes a second swing. An 18.
yeah, that'll still hit.
For 5 points. And then it is Hector's turn.
So Mushika will take a little bit of fire damage for staying in the bonfire. Or at least he'll have to dance.
All right.
Fails it. Give him a little damage. So that was bonfire, and then Hector will follow up with some real fire, doing a fire bolt at Mushika. Attack.
That lands.
Cool. Damage. And hey, y'all doing okay up there? Good luck.
No.
It really hurts.
It looks fine. From here, the battlefield seems to be all in your advantage.
It's a very
And-
different perspective when you're really close to it. It's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah, you have to have some distance to really appreciate as he backs behind the tent. If you hear me running away, know that's just applause. Go ahead. That's it.
All right. Violetta, it is your turn.
Man, but I did not take any artificer buff things. Like I don't have the 10 hit
It's okay,
point thing.
just kill things. Killing things is
Yeah.
good too.
Or healing.
Yeah. I don't have any healing.
Oh, then we're really screwed.
Yeah, I have no healing spells.
I can
did-
bounce up once. I'm a half orc, so
It didn't fit my idiom. So we're saying that if I want to do the expeditious treat to get Brewster out of there, that would be my action for that. Expeditious is a bonus action.
It won't switch that. It's just if you want to stretch, it's got a target of self.
Right.
If you make we'll call it a DC 15 Arcana check, I
Okay.
will allow you to stretch the the limits of that spell, and put it on Brewstus. However, if you fail, you just lose the spell. You expend the spell slot.
I think it's worth it.
You do have 4 rerolls from the audience.
I'm gonna take one of the rerolls.
Okay, and you do have to run up. I'm gonna say it has to be a touch at least to.
Oh, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it through my homunculus.
Oh, you're okay. Got it. Yep, you can do that.
Okay.
So taking one of those rerolls.
Yep. Yay!
So you've made it, and so Brewstus, you've got the benefit of that expeditious retreat.
Okay.
And then that was my bonus action, right? Or was my action to do the Arcana check?
That would be your bonus action casting that spell.
Okay, so I can still crossbow
action.
at the other guy. Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. I will do that. No! Oh, well. Missed shot. I'm not going to use another of our rerolls for that. Okay.
All right. You can hear those of you that are close enough. Mushika is letting out some rodent sounds, kind of commanding his pack here. Giant Rat 1 is Brewstus's.
Oh, Alex, I had advantage on that.
Oh, yeah, it's
because I have pack tactics
yeah, the sun isn't quite brightly up in the air yet, so got advantage.
Okay.
And something just happened here. I don't know if that was a follow or what, but whatever the little noise in my head was. Thank you, whoever triggered something out there in the audience.
Well, doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Brewstus, you're still laid out here. The life is coming into you, but this rat is still attacking.
What does Expeditious Retreat do for Brewstus?
I can dash as a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
I
It
just
doesn't
thought
get
it would
me out
help.
of combat.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Brewstus.
Oh
Rat.
no.
Doesn't do shit.
Et tu, Brewstus.
No, I'm still alive.
You're still alive.
Ooh.
So the rat's just taking advantage of you lying there and kind of nibbling at your ankle as you're
Painful.
coming back awake. The second rat up here has diverted its attention to Irma.
Did that rat
And-
take damage that just attacked Brewstus? Is that
No,
one in
only-
fire?
It has not.
Only Rat 3.
Only rat 3's in fire? Okay.
So this one's trying to nip at you, Irma, and a 12
It will hit. I don't have
Ooh.
armor on, so.
get you for the
No!
6 points.
All right. I do have relentless endurance, though, so.
Yeah.
I don't know when I bounce up, but.
I think you just stay up.
You just stay up.
Okay.
Second level
that
is
really
rough. I forgot. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting how hard this is. This reminds me of the first game of Tyranny.
Giant Rat 3, does it happen at the start of his turn? Or
End of turn. End of turn,
End of turn.
unfortunately.
Okay. So Giant Rat 3 has turned around and is going to try to lunge at Irma. Gets a 15
Yeah, that'll take me down.
No.
and saves you a death save bouncing up like that, but Irma falls. It is now Brewstus's turn.
Quick fire on the
Yes,
possible
yep.
rat. Why?
Do you maybe still have those others targeted?
Oh, I did, and I hit the wrong spell. Hang on. I got it. That's what I want. A fail, so it does take damage. It takes
You've got yourself targeted too.
1. Do I? Neat.
So you might have put. Well, it's okay because you resisted that fire damage.
I resisted
so-
that fire damage.
You're just showing off, like
just hold like one finger up in front of the other as I fire through. Sorry. Yes. Hey, no, it looks fine. Those rats are cooking nicely. We'll have breakfast in moments. Brewster, you ought to
We'll
maybe.
be dead.
No, you'll be fine.
I see audience members are checking EXP.
We do have 3 rerolls left.
And Brewstus, you are up. You're coming to prone on the ground there.
All right. Well, I'll use half my movement to stand. I'm going to heft my warhammer and slam it into the ground to the south and cast a thunder wave.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can't clear some space.
You got both of them.
Nice.
And
So they're both thrown back 15 feet. One of them is unconscious. Or 10 feet, I think.
That'll help.
The impact of the thunder definitely pushes back. You throw that giant rat that's unconscious, its body hurled up into the air. Mushika manages to stay on his feet, but is looking pretty wounded at this point.
Back one space there. I don't want to provoke any opportunity attacks because I don't have any hit points.
I don't blame you.
Sorry, Irma. That was a roll of a 2, which would be a failure.
Okay. I was getting all ready to roll. I was right there.
Would you like to? Because you could use one of these rerolls if you would like.
Go for a reroll.
Do it. Reroll.
We could give Dawson a chance to buy a nat 20 on a death save.
I mean, I think it's better for you guys to re-roll to actually hit the things than me.
If they chew on you, they can kill you dead.
All right.
So yeah, get at least a success.
I have
There's a success.
of a success.
Yes.
Yep, that's worth it.
So can I get rid of the failure? There.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Perfect. Lockheed.
Lockheed can, as the homunculus. He does have an attack.
If I remember correctly, I don't think it can it attack the one that the artificer creates. I feel like there was like that's why I never use it in the Eberron game because it's so limited what it can actually do. Maybe it can.
Yeah, in the Tasha's it says use homunculus servant and use this, and he's got a force strike.
Okay.
It's 1d4.
Sure.
So I think he will move here. You can't see. He'll move here.
Move up one.
And then, it's rain. Well, that's okay because maybe it'll help. And then he's gonna attack this giant rat too.
Okay.
And I'll just roll a 20 for that.
Sure. It's a +4. It looks like.
Yep. Yay.
Unless it's different than the one I got on here. It's 1 point of damage, or is it a roll? Oh, okay.
It's 1d4, but that's 1 point of damage plus PB force damage, which I don't know what PB stands for, but
I'm not sure.
It says hit 1d4 plus PB force damage.
Proficiency bonus.
Proficiency bonus. Thank you. Well, for me, that's a 2. So
on the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be weird if a proficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll count it a 1 for now. We can figure it out.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
for
fine.
A future one. Yeah, I've got the creature, the homunculus. It's not probably the same as the
it's the homunculus servant in Tasha's.
Oh, okay. As I pulled out the wrong stat block, probably.
It's all good. It uses my proficiency bonus for just about everything.
Okay.
So it would one. It's cool. Let's just move on.
Mushika is going to start to head away from the group a bit, but looks back at Brewstus and pulls out a hand crossbow and is going to fire off a shot. 19.
Even with shield, it'll hit me, so I'm just gonna get hit. And be down again.
7 points. And then Mushika moves.
If I die, I'm making a fighter, barbarian, or paladin for my replacement character.
Making somebody who can heal.
Hector's
Oh, we
turn.
have a
Well, I can
cleric.
heal.
We
I
have a
just didn't
cleric.
realize. Yeah, I mean,
I know,
I
but
tried.
one person that can heal is not
Yeah,
that, not that
yeah.
great.
Cool. Yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but all right. And he starts running, and as he's running, he's kind of counting off 10 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet from my nearest friend. Excellent. And then he'll cast Sleep. And being a wild mage, should the DM wish to do something about this, they
Oh,
may.
yes.
if the DM chooses not to do something about it, that's fine too. And sleep.
I think there's no situation where this won't work. He's pretty low on the health now at this point.
Wait, that's not sleep. Where's sleep? Where's
It's
one?
okay. You've got him. It's gonna take hold. So you just watch as he just like is it running and then just mid sprint and just kind of falls asleep, still standing, but just a little tuckered out, standing still there.
And Hector will stand there for a few seconds, like looking around, seeing if anything strange happens.
What is that? A D20 roll, right?
A D20. If a 1 comes up,
one
then
is it? Okay.
something strange may happen. No. Oh, okay. And then he'll use the rest of his movement, assuming nothing strange happens, to sort of come angling in towards his friends.
Did you want me to roll that?
Oh, you want me to? All right, I did.
Oh, so close, so close.
Well, it felt a little weird, but
You know
no
what?
fireball today. Whoop.
I want to re-roll. I'm using my DM re-roll on that one.
It feels as though the tides of chaos are swaying against me. An 8.
So we're good there. No wild magic.
Oh, see, it's totally fine. You're all doing well. You're doing very well. That's it.
Violetta, it is your turn.
Are you still within light crossbow range?
Oh, don't sleep. Don't shoot.
No,
the
he's sleeping.
one.
Yeah, that's right. He's sleeping. The dude facing off with Brewster, is he still awake? There's nothing going on with him.
The rats are still actively.
The rats are still
attacking.
active. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Are you kidding me?
Dawson says the proficiency bonus does hold up on the homunculus. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So what is your proficiency bonus? Because that would make a difference
just
here.
2.
That's enough. The number 3 is not there.
Is down? Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, well, and then I missed on this one. And I don't have a bonus action. No, should I use the reroll?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The DM's going to use it on my wild magic rolls.
Will
Well,
hit.
the DM hasn't needed to run any attacks. They've all hit.
Yeah.
All right.
All
It's
right.
not looking too good as you stick that bolt in him. The giant rat.
Flee, you fool.
Who was the last one that it attacked? It's actually just instinctually. It sees you've been kind of popping in and out of that tent there, right, Violetta?
Hmm?
It kind of clambers over 5, 10,
Oh, yeah.
15, 20.
Does your homunculus get an opportunity
30.
attack?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it has react. It can use its reactions on its own.
Yeah, it certainly could do that. So
Okay. But it will do nothing.
No!
So the
Lucky,
rat
no.
gets up over near you, Violetta, and will try to take a bite.
You got it.
Ooh.
Oh no!
It's a pissed off rat.
Pretty much par
And
for the course.
7
Yeah.
points of damage.
All right, I'm a hardy kobold though.
Let's see. Brewster is up next.
All right, let me get to the right page.
Oh,
You have
no.
one. You have one reroll.
We have one more reroll.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Yeah, you should. We'll be all right.
It's still a failure, but it's only
It's
one.
only
failure.
one failure. Yeah.
So yeah, just deduct one off there. Irma, you're up next. Irma's on the phone.
On the duty phone,
Lockheed, it is your turn.
yeah. Lockheed will come to my aid. So here. It has a fly speed of 30. And it will try its lightning light or its little force damage thing it can do.
All right. That will hit.
It does have a plus too, but okay, that'll hit. All right. 1d4 plus 2 will be 4 points of damage.
All right, that's enough to take out the last of the giant rats.
Whew.
And with Mushika currently under the effects of the sleep spell, that effectively takes us out of combat. Hey, Lord Gusumba, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, hope all is going well with you too. You'd probably be interested in the Temple of Elemental Evil book we're going to be starting to play through, doing some Greyhawk here on the channel starting next month.
Love Greyhawk.
And in case it happens to matter here, as we're going to start to wrap up the session here, but you do have a reroll from Dawson. So.
Use it to kill the rat.
Irma, perhaps we should bandage up before we... he'll be asleep for another 10, 15, 20 seconds at least. I'm not sure which bit
Medicine
goes
check.
inside and which bit goes to the outside.
So, Hector and Violetta, are you both administering some aid here? Yeah, go ahead and do some medicine checks, and let's see if we can stabilize them before they have to do more rolls.
Okay. I don't know why I was rolling that on Brustus, but oh, balls.
Would you like to use this reroll?
I mean, I'm gonna have to do it again on. Or do you have medicine?
I can always make the attempt. So I will make the attempt, but
right. on Irma, because I'm working on Brustus.
Okay.
Irma's the only one who can heal, so I'd get her up first.
Okay.
Nothing I do can wake her up. It just prevents her from dying.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But like, she's the one who can heal.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right. All right. So that's what not to do. So I will take the hair out of the wound before trying to squeeze it closed, and
Woof.
There we go. Look, no. So the trick is, you want to close the bloody bits, and then glue.
Did you say glue, dear? All right. I believe I have some.
Well, I was using pitch because I'm a sailor, and sailors use pitch.
Okay.
There's a little sizzle. It smells like bacon, actually.
I have wood glue.
That would work.
Okay.
So the two of you are bringing your non-medical supplies into the medical realm and helping out Irma. We need another medicine roll, or a death saving throw from Brustus.
No.
That's
can
only
I
two,
try
though.
another medicine check?
Yep. There we go.
Oh.
Normally these things are a non-factor, but it was getting a little nerve-wracking.
That was dicey. So they need to be unconscious for however long, and we can just camp here, I guess. We'll stay another day, maybe.
Yeah. Now that we have them not bleeding as much, let's come over here, and on the count of 3, we're going to hit this fellow as hard as we can.
Okay.
And then a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
A bonk, and you knock him out cold.
I would shoot him point blank with my crossbow.
I was I was thinking subdue, but
were we trying to?
So Violetta, do you do that?
Yeah, but then I'm gonna say,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm sorry, dude. We want to talk to him."
He's got a crossbow bolt sticking out of his head.
And it's a magical crossbow bolt.
It is.
Yep, it works. It kills him. Any other weapon? And
I'm sorry, I
suppose...
can't take that back. That's a no do over.
For future, should mysterious people show up and cause trouble for no reason that's apparent, we may not want to have to go to the lengths of a speak with dead request from a temple when we could just like threaten them. So next time, if we have them, unconscious and can easily be bound up and cocked upside the head, we do that.
I'm sorry, they just nearly killed 2 of our friends. I reacted with rage and not with logic.
How
no.
I was really
That
I
was
was
so
just
much.
a bit
I'm just gonna go back to
surprised.
my tent.
And here I thought we were going to have a protracted conversation about what do we do with this guy now and what is he up to? Like, what the hell? He saved us the trouble.
There's no denouement here.
Yeah. And, do we want to become famous?
We do. I do want to be
Probably not.
famous.
And hammer. Oh, you can't beat me.
I'm sure Dave is probably on it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
So, that is the only complication that you have on the road during your time traveling to Baldur's Gate. And so we're going to wrap up here. Irma and Brewster, you'll be a little sore, have to kind of recuperate, but eventually over the next 2 days you'll make your way to Baldur's Gate, and that is where we'll pick up with you all arriving at Baldur's Gate next time, whenever that is. We haven't decided. We haven't set our second game here yet, but thanks everyone thanks to the players for playing. Thanks to the viewers for watching. If it looked like some fun jumping in here to play, that is something that is available to you. These particular games, the Candlekeep ones, I was doing for the folks that support the Patreon, so you can check that out. And we also do run a community campaign using the original Adventures Reincarnated as our content. We're on the last legs of the Lost City campaign, so that is wrapping up, and if Lord Gasumba is still out there, I had mentioned the Temple of Elemental Evil. We're going to have that access to that a little bit earlier than it's released. It's getting released in August, but we have the opportunity to get a sneak peek of some of that content, so we're going to start that up with next month, probably late May. So all that said, you could support the Patreon. The patrons get the first crack at signing up for games. After that, we put it out there to everyone else. And so if you'd like to hop in one of these games sometime, just join our Discord and pay attention in there, because when I create the sign-ups, I'll post them there. So let's see. It's a midday stream. I'm not exactly sure who's out there that we could go drop a raid on. Let's do a raid over to Sir Lucian. And we'll say see you all back here maybe tonight. We've got Kingmaker happening at this evening with Dave. So come check that out.
I have a sneaking suspicion there will be wandering encounters in that game.
Ooh, yes.
I would think that's a high likelihood.
Bring your EXP and give Dave a hard time. All right. Bye, everyone.